KGW Breaking News.
We don't have closure yet. I think for us is, a struggle of what's exactly happening.
And it might be a while. Tonight on KGW News, uncertainty lingering for family and friends of Longview paper mill workers as crews recover the bodies of most of those killed when a chemical tank ruptured. Now, 2 days later, the work to find the rest of the victims and to return them to their loved ones with dignity and respect is slow and steady as teams navigate electrical challenges, piles of mangled metal, hazardous chemicals, and the emotional toll of the tragedy.
For us, this continues to be incredibly difficult for all of us here.
And our hearts to go out to all of them. We're glad you're with us during what's been a difficult week for so many people. I'm David Mulco. This evening, we have learned the remains of 6 of the 9 workers missing since the chemical tank explosion on Tuesday have now been recovered, meaning 8 people are confirmed to have died, with 3 presumed to have lost their lives. Tonight, we know the names of 2 of the 11. Families say Gilbert Bernal, an electrician who worked at the Nippon Dynawave plant for 15 years, died in the hospital shortly after the blast. And friends tell us that Braden Finkus is one of the workers missing and presumed dead. But first to the latest on those recovery efforts in our Catherine Cook live in Longview. Catherine.
David, you could really feel the weight, both emotional and physical, from first responders as they talked about the recovery process, how difficult and how hazardous it's been. But you also got the sense that that's not what they've been focusing on, but rather wanting to see this through for the community.
For a victim update, we can confirm that 6 of the 9 individuals have been recovered.
Longview Fire Chief Brad Hanig with the latest on recovery efforts at the Nippon Dynawave plant. He says crews recovered those 6 workers from a work area. Officials noting the chemical tank rupture happened during a shift change Tuesday morning. 3 more bodies are still missing.
For us, this continues to be incredibly difficult for all of us here and also everyone involved.
Responders describe the recovery scene as labor-intensive and a complex industrial hazard as they navigate around toxic chemicals.
Priority is ensuring responder safety while treating every victim with the greatest dignity, care, and respect possible. As individuals are recovered from the site, they undergo decontamination before being transported to the Cowlitz County Coroner's Office for identification and family notification.
I think as the days have gone by, our hopes have been fading more and more about the situation.
Javier Sanchez is waiting for word on his friend Braden Finkus, a technician who had 7 years at the plant. He says the 37-year-old lived in Cathlamet with his girlfriend.
He's amazing, selfless guy, funny.
Amazing barbecuer.
Very proud of his barbecuing and, just took care of the community.
Now Javier is asking the community to take care of Braden's girlfriend as they wait for news from plant officials. First responders are vetting several fundraisers for victims' families. Chief Hanig humbled by the community's support for them and first responders as they see this difficult recovery through.
I want to make that clear that we are working diligently, and crews have from the beginning, to have the best outcome.
Crews will resume recovery efforts in the morning. There were also 9 people injured after the initial blast. 2 of them died. Officials have not released any updated information on the others' conditions. Back to you, David.
A lot of heavy hearts and a lot of questions 2.5 days in. Thanks, Catherine. Well, meanwhile, when it comes to environmental concerns, officials continue to say both the air around Longview and its drinking water are safe. The EPA is helping to monitor both. Officials say the water comes from an aquifer about 200 feet underground, one that is protected from what is happening on the surface.
Our plant is extremely complex, but it's extremely safe, and there are built-in redundancies that the plant will shut down way before any contaminants would enter into the public drinking water system.
As far as the water coming from the plant, some of the white liquor chemical is run into nearby ditches. Crews have been flushing those drainage systems to dilute the water to a normal pH level before it enters the Columbia. Meanwhile, we heard again today from the plant's owner and operator, Nippon Dynawave. Brian Wood, the director of support services, saying the plant is operating at minimum staffing levels and is mostly shut down. He added employees not currently working are still getting paid And when it comes to safety concerns past and present at the mill, he said this.
We work in a highly hazardous atmosphere and a highly hazardous industry. We approach it with the utmost care in everything that we do. I'll let the facts speak for themselves.
You know, a clear picture of those facts yet to emerge, though tonight newly obtained 911 records from that fateful morning provide perhaps some insight. Investigative reporter Kyla Boshi has more.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
At 7:18, the first call comes in to emergency dispatchers. There's an incident at Nippon Dynawave Packaging in Longview.
What's going on there?
We have 3 people with chemical burns from white liquor, and there's 1 person missing.
The caller reports a tank imploded. At 7:20, emergency dispatchers upgrade the call to a hazardous materials incident involving chemical exposure.
1882 medic 22 from Control 1, respond 3401 Industrial Way at Nippon for a hazmat burn.
Plant workers are waiting at the main gate to let fire and rescue onto the property.
Yeah, we need rescue units, fire department, everyone.
Yep, we've got lots of people headed that way.
Emergency dispatchers call for additional fire crews and medics.
We're reporting a tank imploded. It looks like there's 3 people with chemical burns and 1 subject is missing.
At 7:42, emergency crews activate Lifelight and request additional units. The victim count escalates quickly.
And you said the ones that are burned are still out there?
Yes.
Dispatchers work with hospitals asking who can take critical patients.
Advise St. John's we're coming in code 3 with 1 red patient. Advise them that we're going to need decon in the parking lot and airway management.
More than 30 minutes after the initial call, the number of victims continues to rise. The scene remains unsafe for hours. Reading through the emergency dispatch logs, one thing stood out to me. Throughout the morning, dispatchers took call after call from family members who couldn't reach loved ones believed to be working inside the plant. Kyla Boshi, KGW News.
And as Longview grapples with the devastating loss, businesses are stepping up to help. Just a day after the blast, signs reading "This Longview Strong" started popping up across town, but those words go deeper than just letters or signs. One example, Lindsay Dines, who runs a mobile lemonade trailer, her husband said was also at the mill that morning and is okay. So she has decided half of her proceeds at the weekend's farmers market will go toward families who lost loved ones.
I can't even imagine what the families are going through, and I think the last thing on their minds needs to be how to pay their bills.
Meanwhile, North County Coffee will donate all proceeds Friday through Sunday from its Kalama and Louisville locations to impacted families. And at Barbering by Monica, anyone who shows proof of donating to a fundraiser can enter to win a free haircut.
One thing about this community is everybody jumps in. It's been shocking, it's been devastating, but I guess the one little light in all of this is how everybody has come together.
One little light. There are more ways for you to make a difference, by the way, by helping with verified fundraising campaigns if you choose. We have those posted along with all our coverage on KGW.com and the KGW mobile app. Longview Strong.
Windy. And there's lightning. Oh my God!
Well, that is new video just in from Layla in the Dalles. Thanks, Layla, of a tree coming down amidst thunderstorms rolling through. Other parts of the state like Harney County saw this golf ball-sized hail. And KGW viewer Mike Edwards also caught some smaller chunks falling in Fossil in Central Oregon. Chief Meteorologist Matt Spino keeping a close eye on all that wild weather. Matt.
Yeah, Eastern Oregon really got hit hard, as did the Dalles where that tree was falling. This is Timberline right now. You can see the rain is falling. It's been wet up on Mount Hood. The winds have finally backed up. But look at this. The back edge of this rain is now cleared the Dalles. Right around Mosier. Hood River is still getting rain. I'll show you the rain amounts in just a minute. They have been pretty impressive. As far as the western valleys go, the rain shield is trying to edge its way into the valley. It's made it to about Sandy and still southeast of Canby. Notice the lightning strikes have all but disappeared. There's like one strike south of us here, but still some pretty good rain up on Mount Hood, as you can see. And there's a lightning strike down to the east of, Eugene, basically. And even there, it's really become quite light. So we're just about done with the lightning. The rain continues. And look at these rain amounts. Hood River, nearly an inch of rain. Parkdale, over 3/4 of an inch. Rhododendron had about a half an inch. Warm Springs, an inch. And the Metolius Arm which is an arm of the Metolius River, over an inch of rain there too. So it really came down hard. And of course, the lightning, we've got video for you from Central Oregon. This is from Silver Lake down in Lake County, cool part of the state, an amazing display of lightning there. Around the state of Oregon, over 140,000 lightning strikes today if you count the cloud to ground, which you just saw, but also there's also a lot of cloud to cloud lightning, which the lightning detection networks can also pick up. So yeah, it was a wild day around the Northwest. Now, we're done with any severe thunderstorm watches in Oregon. We still have a severe thunderstorm watch for these counties in north central and northeastern Washington, but the threat in Oregon really died down as these showers are ending, or the thunderstorms are ending. Just showers in the morning, and then suddenly lots of sun for the weekend, David. More on that in a bit.
Yeah, looking forward to some calmer weather. Thanks, Matt.
142 gets spiked. He just ran my patrol car and he's running towards 224.
Just ran my patrol car. And an update, new body cam video from Milwaukee police shows the chase where a suspect whose legal name is Looney Tune, shot at officers while fleeing. Earlier today, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison in connection with these events. This began on Highway 224 in Milwaukee and ended at the Eastmoreland Golf Course, where officers found that car abandoned. Police arrested him 3 days later in Sandy. 20 years. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, police are investigating what they call a suspicious death after someone spotted a body floating in a Longview lake. First responders were called just before 3 this afternoon to Lake Sacagawea near Nichols Boulevard and Louisiana Street. Details are limited and the Criminal Investigations Unit is involved. There is no indication that this is at all related to the events at the paper mill. Caught on camera, the aftermath of a fiery crash on southbound I-5 this morning near the Terwilliger Curves. Portland police say a pickup truck slammed into the barrier on the shoulder around 9 and burst into flames. A witness apparently did CPR on that driver before paramedics arrived. Wow, there's no word on his or her condition. It does not appear anyone else was injured. And the move to ban foie gras from being served in Portland restaurants has taken an incremental step forward. The proposed ban was introduced by Councilor Mitch Green and Council President Jamie Dunphy, who argue the food's production process does not align with Portland's values. If it passes, restaurants could face warnings and then fines. It's worth noting that a local group found a total of 7 restaurants and 3 markets in the Rose City that offer the controversial dish. The proposal could get a final vote the next time Dunphy puts it on the agenda.